Hey there and welcome back. Thank you so much for your comments and questions on my last video. And if you missed it, you might want to go back and check it out on our blog. But if you want a quick recap, this is what I talked about. So I wanted to start shaking up the conversation when it comes to how people and companies approach interior design sales. Typically, it's through a traditional lens of let's do sales calls, let's have in-person interactions with our clients and designers and get sales that way, which is great and has been successful for many, many years in getting millions and millions of dollars in revenue for several different companies. But what happens when an event comes in that knocks out the traditional way that you have been holding on to for so long? So I wanted to get you to refocus on a customer's journey or a designer's journey with your brand from the time they find out about your product until the time a product is actually installed on a project, right? It's a long customer journey, and you want to make sure that you are understanding all of the touch points, all of the pain points, and creating an experience that keeps people coming back, no matter if you're selling traditionally or shaking things up by embracing a digital age. And if you're new here, hello again. My name is Nicole and I am the founder of Thrive in Design. We are a design and innovation consultancy that helps interior product companies increase their brand awareness and revenue. In today's video, I'm actually going to talk about my methodology called A.C.E. the journey, right? So a second ago, I hinted at a customer journey or designer's journey with your brand. And what I boiled this down to is an acronym, A.C.E. A is how are you appearing in the market? C is how is your team consulting designers? And E, how is your company executing a sale, right? And bringing that spec to fruition, right? A.C.E. And all of the different parts of your business really fall into one of those categories. I'm going to dive into this more in depth over the next few weeks, but for the sake of time, I just want to talk about the A in A.C.E. journey today, and that is appearing. How is your company appearing in the marketplace, right? So we talked a little bit about in-person interactions and sales calls. I know when I first started in sales in the interior design industry, my job required me to do 25 sales calls a week. Now, I was coming into this super green, so I was like, yes, I'm so excited to have in-person meetings with these people, to get in front of people, to build relationships. But what I didn't realize was 25 sales calls meant going to 25 different interior design firms within 5 days. Now, luckily, I did live in New York City, so sometimes design firms were in the same building or on the same block, but my feet were hurting, okay? I walked a lot, and I experienced burnout super fast, okay? And I also realized that a part of these sales calls was really just like showing up, right, for the designer. How was I appearing to the designer in the marketplace? And how were the products that I was selling appearing to my designers? So let's break that down. When you think of appearing, you should be thinking of how does a designer really get in touch with my brand, right? When it's in person, it's pretty easy for your sales team to say, okay, let me take these samples, let me take this product launch and get in front of my designers by doing a product presentation, during a breakfast presentation, during wine and cheese, or participating in a trade show. But have you taken a moment to consider how designers might come in contact with your brand when in person is out of the question, right? So if a designer is typing in keywords for your business offerings or your product offerings online, how are they coming across that, whether it's in a search engine, whether it's on a social media platform, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'm going to give you guys a tangible example of what I mean by, appearing to your customers when it doesn't involve an in-person interaction. Recently, I was in touch with a interior design company. They actually are a furniture dealership in my general area, right? So when they were thinking about how they can expand business, they automatically went to, okay, we need to get someone in here that is an expert at sales. We need to get somebody who can build relationships in the A&D in our area, right? Which is all well and good. But they also weren't aware that when you typed keywords about their business into Google, they weren't even showing up on the first page of Google, right? So like I said before, they were an office furniture dealership in my city. So what I did by thinking about their online experience in one way was I just did a search for office furniture dealerships in the city that I live in, right? And what I came out with was maybe 3 pages of search results, most of which included their competitors' websites, right? So a designer that might have been looking for what they were offering would find 3 pages of search results on Google before they actually found this company that I'm talking about. And why is that a problem? Because most people usually go for the top results on the search page in Google. So how do you go about fixing that, right? Keywords, right? Keywords is what we're looking for here. The designer is looking for an office furniture dealership in whatever city they're in. Those are a few keywords. They're typing it into Google and Google is giving them results. And how you appear in those search results is by optimizing your search engine optimization so that you can, what? Appear to your designers. You want to make sure that you're optimizing your online experience so that people can actually find what you have to sell them. If a sales team member cannot get in front of people, then that person is going to go online to find what they need to offer, right? So appearing to a designer has a lot of different facets to it. It can involve, your marketing, your messaging, but how are you actually going to appear online when somebody searches for keywords in relation to products that you're offering in the interior design industry? Let's think about that. All right, so that is the meat of what I wanted to go over today. And the interesting part about this is that most people or most companies, especially interior product companies, have amazing products and they want to be number one in their lane, but they're not even showing up on the first page of Google, let alone the top 3 search results. So I want you guys to start thinking outside of the box. Think outside of the traditional way of selling when it comes to sales calls and in-person presentations. Those are all good, but how are you going to fill in the gaps within your customer journey, especially when it comes to appearing in the marketplace, online and offline, so that you are dominating a spec and increasing your brand awareness? So I actually have another video up my sleeve, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about ACE the Journey, how you can be appearing to designers in the marketplace, consulting designers, and better executing a sale so that you can bring a spec to life in my next video. But before I do that, I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you thought about this video, how it changed your perspective, and what you'll be putting into action for your brand immediately. I can't wait to hear from you.